Hey guys, it's me. I'm the behind the curtain guy at J Boyle Live Drum Streams. And I just figured I would do this video because when I started to do this with Joe, I didn't know anything about how to live stream, how to set up a drum set, to do covers, and I was really like, I understand how to set up a PA system. I understand how to live stream, but to do all this, there was no whole like tutorial on how to set this up. You know what I mean? So basically, I had to piece everybody's instructions together and get what worked for us. When we first started doing this, we were doing it off of a one PC, and it wasn't working. Like, it was either glitchy or the sound wasn't, and so when I found that a lot of people were using dual PCs. So we did research and everything, and decided that we were going to get a mini PC because they're very strong, don't take up a lot of space, and basically they pack a huge punch when it comes to RAM and everything. So we ended up going with a GMK Tech, which link will be in the description, excuse me. And we found that the Nook Box 5, excuse me, was great. Like, it came with 16 gigs of RAM with Windows 11 Pro, AMD 5700 processor, it triple display, 4 USB-C port. It's got, the specs are just crazy for this little box that was this big. So it came with 16 gigs of RAM, and it has two empty slots also that you can add another 16 gigs. So you can have up to 32 gigs of RAM. I don't save anything directly to the mini PC system itself because I don't want to clog it up or anything like that. So I have external memory that everything gets saved to for that. And we use the laptop to strictly only run the audio and the music, because that way if the video lags for some odd reason, the sound stays. So with the Nook box, it's highly recommended on my behalf because the first mini PC that we got, there was an issue with it, and we contacted them and they sent us a replacement instantly. Like, within the next day we had another replacement before we even sent the other one back. And anytime we get updates or anything, they instantly send them to us, and I highly recommend them. So basically, when we ran the audio from the laptop, I use a splitter coming out of the earphone jack going to his headset because he doesn't want to hear the drums when he plays. He only wants to hear the music. So the other side of the splitter, of course, goes to the mixing board, and the mixing board goes into the interface, and then the interface, of course, goes into the mini PC, and that's how they mix, and so on and so forth. So basically, if you're going to live stream, you got to have dual PC. In my suggestions, I highly recommend mini PCs, and you got to have at least 16 gigs of RAM if you're going to do this. You have to. You have to have strong internet also. So I highly recommend that if you're going to do this, you make sure that you have strong PC with enough usage and RAM and processor, and you make sure that you're either Ethernet cord or you are directly underneath that Wi-Fi, because you have to have, because when you're live streaming, just a little glitch, you know what I mean, it's not fair to your viewers that come in if they're missing parts. You know what I mean, you might do a stick toss or a roll and it might glitch out, and the next thing you know they're getting bad quality, and that's not fair. So we run 3 cameras, which works for us for what we need it for. And You know, this is basically, we run Zoom cams, which is actually made for musicians. So we use Zoom cams, the Q2N 4Ks. We use two of those. We have this one here and this one here, and then the one above we use a razor, because that way it gives us the ability to pan, tilt, and it gives us focus options, and you know, it's got more frames per second, which, you know, will allow us to see, you know, more rolls and so on and so forth. So we use OBS as our platform to stream from. So we stream from Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and we do it from the multi-output controls for the OBS. So that is also a plugin. So if you get the OBS Studio, you're also going to go and get the plugins for multi-port output, so that way you can do more than one stream. But you also got to know that some platforms are interlinked together. So like if you stream from Rumble, you also have the option to stream Twitch with the Rumble. So you not only have the option to stream directly to there, but you can virtual cam. So you virtual cam, and then when you go into the settings for your platform like Twitch or TikTok, you use the virtual cam, so that way you're not using a stream key. So it works flawlessly. And then, like I say, you got to go into, now that we have the interface, you got to make sure that you do another source for your audio capture input, and you got to make sure that that's set to your interface and so on, and which goes all the way down into your actual settings for your sound. So like, you know, you go here, you go to your sound settings, you bring this up. Now you got your output, which is our USB audio 2.0. That's what we want for our output. And for our input, we also want USB audio 2.0. We don't want any audio from the cameras at all, because I want to be able to control the levels with the mixing board. So that's how I get my sounds to come out. But if you don't put in the right, you know, settings that they all match on all cameras settings, your timing will be off. Like, even if it's a half of millisecond, you'll still notice it. So you always got to make sure that your settings are set equally. You always got to make sure that you got your camera video quality set, and it's set as at 30 frames per second. You know, if they go up to 60 and you have solid internet service, you use it. Always go for the highest frame per second, because that's going to get your quality. And if you have your camera setting to where you can go from widescreen to close, you don't want to keep it at your closest setting, because it's going to get grainy. You want to leave it at least middle. That way you always got room that you can edit. You know, it's always good to have more, because then you can stretch it out and, you know, overlap video lays and stuff like that, to where you're still getting good quality picture, but you're just cutting out what you don't need. So this is video 1. So next video we'll go through how we physically set it up. So again, tune back in, watch out for the next video, and appreciate everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate everybody. Thank you very much.